What's up guys? Today we're going to take a little trip down memory lane for myself, and I'm going to show you 5 Amazon products I sold in the past that absolutely sucked. Why I think that's important? Because these are all products I sold early on in my career, back 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago, and these are perfect examples of what not to sell on Amazon. So hopefully it helps you avoid potential mistakes with your first, second, third product, whatever it is. So this should be a fun journey down memory lane. Before I hop on my screen to show you guys these products, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below to stay up to date on everything Amazon FBA and e-commerce in general. I got a lot of exciting things planned this year, and I'm building it in a way where hopefully I get to show you a lot of behind the scenes of these new projects on Amazon and Shopify, maybe a little TikTok shop in there. So again, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Otherwise, let's get into it. So the first product we're going to review here is this small cube magnet set. This is probably like my 5th, 6th product ever on Amazon. And what they are these just little cubes right here where you get a big old set of them. You can fidget with them. They connect together. You can make different shapes. Just think of them as magnetic Legos essentially, but a little less flexibility. We can see they're selling about 5,000 a month here, which isn't bad, but for 2,300 reviews here, that's terrible. If you search on a keyword here that kind of hits home for them, we can see there's a couple here, 180 reviews, 4,500 reviews, 400 plus bought, 700 plus bought. And then we get down here and that's gets really into like these playful plastic ones here. So why this product sucks so much for us is if we go over here to hazardous and prohibited items, we go down all the way down here, and we can see right here, individual novelty magnets and novelty magnet sets that are marketed or commonly used for entertainment such as puzzle working, sculpture building, mental stimulation, or stress relief are prohibited for sale. The following magnet set brands are specifically prohibited for sale: Bucky Balls, Buck Balls, Bucky Bars, Bucky Bigs, and it goes on and on and on. So essentially we listed a prohibited product on Amazon, trying to skirt by their rules, kept getting taken down, trying to relist, and it was a nightmare. Now, the most frustrating thing about Amazon is these exist. So why do these exist? 4,500, 2.2K. Well, I'm guessing they got grandfathered in and they haven't marketed as toys or puzzles or whatever it may be from the prohibited stuff here. It still makes no sense because we see the word fun right here, fun magnets. To me, that's a toy, right? If you're gonna use the word fun. So you'll see this on Amazon a lot, and it's a common trap where you see a prohibited product and you see other people selling it and you're like, oh, then I can do it too. No, it's not worth that risk because you're just gonna play this game with Amazon where you get taken down, try to relist, and it's gonna go back and forth, making your life a living nightmare. Plus, there's a lot of liability in these products, right? Kids swallow the little pieces, get their fingers crushed. I don't know what the big deal is. If you have warning and disclaimers, I don't see it, but there must be something here liability-wise that Amazon doesn't like. Again, just because other people are selling them doesn't mean you should either. Obviously, I'm not too mad about this one because the top seller is doing like 5,000 a month, but make sure you guys check hazard and prohibited items. There's a whole list here, restricted products. So we see restricted products here and they have categories, restricted products down here as well. So make sure you guys are double checking your categories. If it looks too good to be true, there's usually a patent or it's restricted in some way if you only see one competitor or like no competitors in that marketplace. So don't fall into that rookie mistake like I did. It's going to cost you a lot of money and time. A second example of a product I sold on Amazon that sucked was a cat water fountain here. Now we see the first thing we see here, I'm using Helium 10. If you guys don't know what that is, just a software that allows me to see a lot of data here, sales, search volume. There's a link down below if you need it. Anyways, the search volume here, we can see it's massive, right? 340,000 here per month, 146,000, and just steadily growing here. And if we open up the Helium 10 Chrome extension, we can see what they're doing in revenue, 1.2 million a month here, 727,000, 450,000, 2.2 here, 107 right here. So it's absolutely bonkers. Now you're probably saying to me, Cameron, this seems like a great product. You could have made millions of dollars. Yes, you're right. But you might be overlooking what it takes to actually get to $1 million a month on a product. And that's a huge investment. So we started this product, bought 1,500 units, probably 15K, 20K of units. And it was going decent. We're selling probably at break even for a while, trying to rank up. But 2 issues arise. One, we didn't see a clear path without getting to $100,000, $200,000 reorders before making money. Because we got to match these unit in sales. We got to catch up in reviews before organic sales can really take off. So a lot of ad spend went into this. Plus, you see there's so much competition in a niche like this. So not only do you see a ton of competition always popping up here, but since there's so much money involved, you're going to see a lot of black hat stuff. You're going to see a lot of competition doing dirty things. You're going to see bids at $4, $5 a click. And that's fine and dandy. That's okay. But that would take us 2 to 3 years probably to return on investment for this product and invest hundreds of thousands of dollars into this product before seeing a nickel back. And at that time, 2 years down the road, who knows? We could have failed in some other way. So I'm not a fan of products that are massive in the market. I'd rather go to something that does $20,000 to $30,000 a month max in a market, niche down, brand down, whatever it is. Because if you don't have the money and the skill set to back this up and the years of time to develop, you're going to have a bad time. Also, the second factor why this product sucked is that it's electronic. So quality control was much tougher than other products. You get a lot more one-star reviews and returns because of defects, which you're always going to have a few defects, regardless of how good your quality control is. So morale-wise, it was not great to see the refunds and the returns and the one-star reviews that popped up and just fighting. You can see these guys just fighting to stay at 4.3 here, 4.1, 4.2. Yeah, there's a couple of them here doing really well, which we could probably never beat out because they've obviously mastered the manufacturer process. But here, 42,000 reviews, they're fighting 4.3. And now why 4.3 is so big is because they go to 4.2, they lose a half star visually, which massively can affect your conversion rate on your listing, which is massive for ranking, for ads, for everything. So not a fun game to play when you're always staying on this line right here. Yes, this failure can be brought up to a skill issue, but we had other products at that time. And sometimes you just got to pick which one you want to reinvest in and which one you want to cut. And this one we cut. On to the third one, guys, CBD oil. And you're probably going to see a couple common themes here, especially the earlier products where I was pretty freaking dumb. But anyways, you'll see that common theme. And if you see it, put it in the comments down below. And I'll probably address it by product 4, product 5, because it's too glaring of an issue for some of the products I used to pick. So getting into CBD oil, we see here all time, you could see this huge trend back in 2019. Around this area, I think 2020, 2019 is when we started to sell this product. We can see it's really dwindled down. So I'm actually happy that we're not continuing to sell this product because demand has gone down a lot. But regardless of that, why it sucks so bad, we can see CBD oils typed in right here, but all we see is hemp oil, hemp oil, hemp oil, hemp oil, hemp oil, hemp oil, hemp oil. You get the point here. So why is that the case when I'm typing in CBD oil with such large search volume that I'm only seeing hemp oil? That's because just like the magnets, this is a restricted product on Amazon. There's a lot of health claims you can't say here. You can't say CBD oil. You put the wrong tag word in a title, back end, you're going to get taken down. It was just back and forth with Amazon. The competition was fierce. You couldn't fully advertise the benefits of your product because they could be seen as a medical claim. And the amount of competition that popped up for these things was it was massive, right? This was when things were getting legalized in state by state. So this was a massive influx of competitors. It became a price war. A lot of people sold snake oil that really didn't work either. And they just dropped the price on that, keep relisting. And it was just a nightmare. Again, products with that have, 300,000 in search volume when we were doing it right. It's going to attract some bad eggs because there's so much money involved on top of the glaring issue where you can get taken down at any time. Again, you don't want to be in these gray areas on Amazon because it's never worth it because you just get taken down, put back up, taken down, put back up. And the fight to get put back up can take you a month, could take you a week, could take you 3 months. And then 6 days later could take you down when you have momentum. So do your research in restricted products, what you can put on Amazon. And just because someone else is doing it doesn't mean you have to do it either. Next product we have is paracord bracelets. Now what these are little survival bracelets where you can make fires with these. There's whistles on it. There's compasses on it. You take them on a hike if you get lost, or camping if you get stuck. Show off a reflector to a passing helicopter. Essentially just a survival bracelet. Now this is actually a product that's actually within a wheelhouse, right? 7,300 search volume here. We can see it's definitely gone down a little bit here, but nothing too crazy, right? So 2020, 2022, when everybody's trapped inside, everything went up during this time here. So not a big deal when it comes to search volume. So this is the first product here that actually was in the constraints. Now what's bad about it and why this is a good example for people that are new looking at product research is because this is an easy entry level product. What I mean by this is very easy to source, very easy to get pretty good quality with, very cheap. You can airship this. You can get it for, 30 cents, 50 cents, $1 per piece. So what happens there is it attracts a lot of new people. So thousands of new sellers could see this, want to sell it. And all of a sudden, it's just a race to the bottom when it comes to price. Now we can see this already happen. I think we were at $10, $11 when we first started. But we can see people at $7 here, $5 here, $6 here. So a quick race to the bottom. Plus at these prices, it's very hard to get a margin because your FBA fees are fixed regardless. Right, obviously it drops tier to tier, everything like that. But you're working with a very small profit margin And that doesn't allow you to actually make a lot of money with products like this unless you're selling tens of thousands of units per month. We can see here, if I go into the profit calculator here, if we go to 0 here, that's the way I like to do it. I like to put my COGS essentially in the manufacturing cost. I put 0 here, right, just to show you an example. But your margin is $1.15 at 0 cost of goods to make any money with this product, $1 per pop here, right? Say it cost you $1 to make and get shipped over, 15 cents is your margin. So you can see really quickly why this one doesn't work for the margin reason as well as the competitor reason of this being an easy entry-level product for people. So in my opinion, you want to start with something that's a little bit more complex to make. Yes, it's harder on you, but if it's harder on you, that means a lot of people quit because it's harder on them, meaning there's not going to be as much competition that pops up so quickly. And you can avoid that quick price war race to the bottom with no margins for anybody. On to product number 5. Some people already maybe know about this one. This was my first huge loss, and that was fidget spinners. Okay, so let's talk about the elephant in the room. Why was it a massive loss? Well, we started around this time here. About this peak is when we got this product on here, most likely. I know if I look at Google Trends, that peak matches up perfectly. So when you see a trend that's taking off and blowing up, it's probably already too late. Okay, so trendy products have a history, obviously, of going straight up and then going down to the toilet, which we see here. So it went from 60,000 to the peak 107,000 down to 10,000 a month right here. It did have like a rejuvenation period. I'm not sure, just everybody locked in, fidgeting, anxious. And then it went right back down to 6,000, 7,000 here. So we can see this is a very trendy product. We got up here, trend died, traffic died, and there's millions of competitors, it seemed like. So many competitors, a race to the bottom. So that's why I always try to avoid trendy products, because I'd rather have a product I can build up for year 2, year 3, year 4 that steadily gets better and still gives me cash flow versus getting a quick payday. Yes, I've had some successful paydays with trendy products. But again, I want to look at it more like an asset, not a quick buck, because if you're always rolling the dice, you're going to end up losing most of the time here. Another big lesson for this one, this was our kind of first intro to manufacturing. We ended up using a trading company. They were just throwing these things together on a bench. We were selling like 13, 15 a day when we got on there. And then the 1-star reviews just started flooding in, killing our listing. So make sure in the manufacturing process, you're actually taking your time, learning what it takes to get a good quality product over, inspections, working with the right companies. You can have the best product idea in the world, but if it's 1-star quality, it's not going to work. So manufacturing is just as important as the product you pick. All right, guys, that's it. That's 5 loser products that I've had in my career. So after watching this, hopefully you learned 1 or 2 things to avoid when it comes to your first, second, third product, and what products that may look good, but are actually traps and are going to get you into trouble. If you guys like that, again, make sure you hit the subscribe down below. And for people who are interested, I do have a program where I actually inspect your products before you launch them to make sure you don't fall for these traps. Now, just a little disclaimer here. I put as much information I can on YouTube out there. So if you want to do it on your own, fine. This is not for everybody. But if you're someone who wants hands-on coaching, mentoring, not just looking for another course, this might be for you. You can click down below, book a call, talk to me about it, make sure it's a good fit for both sides. Obviously, no pressure there. Otherwise, guys, see you in the next one.